if you're gonna hang with me, you're gonna have to be cool with traveling back into time. That's right, we're gonna travel back to June 2011, nearly 7 years ago, back to when I was age 30, and I had this exact same hairstyle, which I'm gonna say is a number one at this point. It's been 4 days since the zero guard, but it's looking more like a number one guard to me. And so, we are going to travel to a land called Facebook, which keeps everything in perspective for us. All right, so this is June 29th, 2011. I was age 30. Keep in mind, next month I'll be turning 37 years old. But this was me at age 30 with a very similar, I mean, we could, maybe this is number 2 or 3, but either way, it's very similar. I want you to check out the hairline. I want you to compare it to how I have it now. Some of these other photos from that same day are going to be not so much close up where you can really see anything, but it's funny because, yeah, my son is 7 years old now, so with him being a baby, that is also proof of this. This was 7 years ago. What I'm wanting you to assess is how much have things changed for me in 7 years, from having turned age 30 in these photos to now me being almost 37. I'm about a month and a half away from turning 37. How's that looking to you? Does that look like the same basic hairline as you see now? And there's the last one. Okay, so now that you've had some time to assess, we're going to travel back to the modern day, a little bit awkwardly, and let's just gather our thoughts here, okay? So, the main objective you have in this assignment, now that you've seen that, how much has this really changed? Do you see some minor change that's happened in the last 7 years? Now keep in mind, in these past 7 years, or almost past 7 years, I have become a vegetarian and then a vegan. And actually, I'm a couple days, by the time you watch this, it'll have been 5 years that I've been a vegan now. So for most of those 7 years, I've been a vegan. And for the past, 14 months of that, I've been using the rosemary oil. Do you think it's made a difference? Do you think my hairline hasn't changed too much? Is it pretty much the same hairline? I want you to be the judge. And I was thinking about those photos today, thinking I need all 3,000 plus of you to check that out and kind of compare and just kind of, just imagine that, you know, where I was already at with this hairline that we don't exactly know what to call. How much has it progressed in 7 years? And of course, age 35 is really, for me, that milestone, whether you're gonna truly continue losing your hair or pretty much keeping what you've got. Perhaps in theory, I'm ultimately proving that I will have this hairline most of my adult life, at least through my 50s, before the diffuse thinning starts taking over, perhaps. But I am using the rosemary oil, so we could talk about that too. But ultimately, I want you to compare my hairline now at almost age 37 to June of 2011, when I had just been 30 for a couple of months, which, as you know, age 30 is when I noticed that my hairline went from more of a 2 to what it is now, because the part that we can't quite figure out is this part. We know this is more of a 2, but anyway, compare, scroll back on the video, look at those little parts where I showed you the photos. You be the judge.